County Durham is the immense Beamish Museum, 300 acres in size. It has a 1940s farm and an 1820s manor house and estate, but the bulk of the museum, with the pit village, colliery, fun fair, transport depots and town, is set in the year 1913. Picking 1913 was a good move. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it was perhaps the last year that was completely foreign to the modern visitor. So recent, and yet so very different. They have trams and trolley buses to ferry people about, and everything has lovely polished brass and wooden bits. Perfect for a steampunk event. Yes, Impossible Gears had organised this event, and the Steampunks were out in force, some so magnificently costumed that they were strong evidence for the possibility of interdimensional travel. There were steampunk magicians, a travelling museum of curiosities,
the Lindybeige monster!
Bartitsu demonstrations, and of course, steampunk hamsters. Yes, it was a bit windy that day. The buildings are original period buildings, but most have by some cunning means been brought here from elsewhere. That impresses me. Moving an entire Masonic lodge can't be easy. The bank even has its underground vaults. There were costumed and very knowledgeable in-character museum guides to answer questions.
So here we are in the printer works. And they even sell real stuff here.
This garage was great. Huge, and with all the belt-driven workshop machinery and the smell of oily metal. Such a tiny engine for such a big van.
Okay, so we have a bike light with a suspension on its bracket, so it bounces up and down smoothly. And this was in use in 1913. And you would fuel it with this stuff, which is a mixture of carbon powder and lime. And then you would fill the top section with water, and that would drip down onto the lime, react with it, creating a gas, acetylene, and that would feed the lamp with flammable gas, which would then burn very brightly. And this was the way people saw how to get about in 1913. And here's a larger one. What would that be used
This
on?
would be the car, this is a motorcycle.
Oh, that's a motorcycle one in brass. Okay. Wow, and that would last for a couple of hours before you had to stop by the roadside and relight.
And if you run out of water, you could nip behind the bushes.
Yes, that's enough of that, thank you. Need some groceries? Well, you'd go to a grocer, and all the produce would be behind the counter. None of this picking your own and taking it to the checkout stuff. No, you need to be served with every item.
So if the Temperance Society has done well in your area, this is an alternative marketing strategy. I just love the confidence of this boast. They're not going to get sued. The best soap for all occasions.
A shop like this, its way of selling, and almost every product, and every need for every product in it, is no longer any part of our world. Who needs grate polish, or tin baths, or... Oh, that reminds me, I do need a new bossing mallet. I suppose chicken wire fencing probably looked pretty ugly to them too.
So here we have a standalone radiator. It's not plumbed into central heating, that's gas-fired.
So much seemed so much nicer back then. Just look at the bank manager's office. Take this printing press, for example. You see, they needed a lump of metal to be a sliding weight along the top, and whereas today they would make it lump-shaped, back then they thought, well, we might as well make it eagle-shaped. Why can't we have eagle-shaped sliding weights today? Huh? Come on, we're rich and we have loads of technology to make things easier. I want eagle-shaped weights, and I want them as soon as is reasonably convenient. Thank you. But the world did have stronger man-made smells back then. Much of it smelt of coal, but at least this was before cigarettes became popular during the Great War to come. I can't tell you why, but this sort of dark, twiddly furniture and gilt-painted pottery I've always found revolting.
So, if I have some reasonably major bit of dental work done here, what are my chances of walking out alive?
Well, we do have a 3% fatality rate at this dentist. We just don't advertise it very much.
Dentistry is nicer now then. Those tools don't look very different from today's though.
We have the pedal-powered drill.
The most technical thing that we have in the room. First brought about in 1870s.
See that chair over there? That was for the accompanying man in case a lady needed treatment. A middle-class home. So much ornamentation. The kitchen range, engine room of the house, heating the hot water, cooking the food, drying the clothes above it. We went to the solicitor's office, but there was no wild party there, so we went to the pub instead and had some drinks there. The posh people went into the rear lounge, but it was a bit dark in there for my video camera. And there was this Victorian change-giving machine. You load up little round trays of change, pounds on the left, 10 shillings on the right, and you're ready to go.
And as that one comes out, the next one drops down. So you can't get more than one. So then that's your next one in.
And look at it, it's so pretty. It even makes nicer noises than modern change-giving machines that just go beep. And then it was out to explore.
But you're wearing 3 clashing types of paisley. You've got silver paisley, green and sort of red paisley,
and red, which
and
kind of-
purple and good lord, man. Have you no sense of decorum?
No, because I'm a pirate. I thought I'd be the flashiest, most colourful pirate, flamboyant pirate, and people remember me.
Good lord, there's one thing I can't stand. It's people dressed flamboyantly.
Lindybeige!